Welcome, class. I wanted to give you a quick walkthrough of how the final was done. The final's already submitted. Everybody submitted their final. I've graded most of them. And some got pretty close. Some completed. Some didn't get started at all. So I wanted to make sure we're all clear with the steps, how to do this. And I sort of set myself up. I've got a user ID and password already built into Oracle. I have the script ready to run. First thing I'm going to do is clone the repository, the starter repository. Okay. That was strange. Just did it on. Try that again. All right. Delete that repository. Delete it. Cool. All right. Here we go. All right. I got that from right there. There we go. And I'm going to import the projects. I'm going to say finish. And it went out and cloned that repository. We've got all 5 projects. And I'm going to start with the doll first. And I'm going to do a right click. I'm going to do a Maven update project. I'm just going to select all the projects. I want all the references to be updated. All the builds, Java 1.8 and so forth, to be updated. It's going to take a second. I'm going to go right into the resource file under the config file for Hibernate, and I'm going to change the settings. And just so we can read this thing, let me put my font size up a little bit bigger. I'm getting blind in my old age. Let's say that's text font, and I'll give it like an 18. How about that? Okay, apply, done. All right, your username, like maybe 25% left it in there. Obviously, if you're using your username, you're not connected to anything. I think mine is Gibbons B. Gibbons B. I think I said Jesus 2016. That's not a password for me at all for anything else. So just for this, they'll try to hack my accounts. Save it, and that's done. Okay. So Oracle, I've got the table to be built. I'm going to go out and just make sure if it's there, I'm going to zap it. If it's not there, it's not there. Table rate's not there. So I'm going to run this whole thing as a script. A bunch of rows were inserted. And then I'm going to commit my changes. Highlighting it, F5, commit complete. I go out to here, refresh the tables. There she is. 5 rows. How it should be. All right, back over to doll. If we go to the base, go to Rocket doll or Rate doll. The mapping file is done for you. The domain class is done. All the glue for Hibernate's done. Let me shrink this up a bit. Okay, so from rate domain model to list. So this should stick all rates in this, but I said that there probably should be an order by in this. Let's see what it looks like without the order by. It's going to give me rates. It's just not going to be in the order I want. So I get rid of this pointless assert. This should just work. So let's see what happens. So I run this. I'm going to run it as JUnit test. It's going to do its thing. It's going to run. I get green. I get rate size 5. So I know it's reading the 5 rates from the table. Now it's not doing what I needed to do. I needed to come back in a certain order. So I want it to be in order. So what I'm going to do is say, I'm remembering the syntax from the top of my head. I'm going to give it an alias of R, and I'm going to say order by R dot. And now it's not this is where people get confused. It's not the column name. It's the rate. It's the attribute name in rate domain model. I'm in credit score. So I say order by R dot. I'm in credit score list. That should do it. I run the test again. I get back 5. Guess what? Rate doll is done. Close that. Next. Rocket BLL. And meanwhile, let's go to Rate DAL, and I'm going to run it as a Maven build and say clean install. Nice. And build success. There we go. So there we go. Rocket Base. I've got rate BLL. I say, give me two things. One's for get payment. That method's done. Another one's called get rate. So for a given credit score, I'm going to call that rate DAL and get all the rates for it and figure out what rate I want to use. Get rate. That's what get rate does. Right on. Okay, so what does back in Rocket DAL? What does this thing return? This thing returns back an array of rate domain models. So I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to say rates equals rate DAL dot. There you go. Dot get all rates. There we go. And it imports it and everything's cool. So that thing's going to be a number of rates. So I'm going to say I have to find the interest rates. That's what I want to find. I want to find the interest rate. I'm going to say double D rate equals 0 for each rate domain model rates. RAR in rates. There we go. That's the proper way. And now I'm going to say if the given rate, which is this thing, given credit score is less than R dot get credit score. Yes. Then okay. D rate equals R dot get rate. Not get rate ID. I don't care about the ID. I care about the rate. Get interest rate. There it is. Done. And, not return 0. Now you're going to return rate. So, well, there could be a case where a credit score doesn't return a rate. In other words, you're trying to get a credit score for like a 200 credit score, and it doesn't return a rate because there's not a 200 in there. So what do you do then? I have an exception out here called a rate exception. It extends exception. What do I want to extend? So what is failing this is the credit score, right? So if I said rate exception extends exception, and I gave it private rate domain model, import that, and then give it a constructor. Constructor using fields, call them that, and then I need a getter. Generate getters and setters. Just the getter, I don't need a setter. Yeah, I didn't read it, but that's what you got to do. Save that. Now, in rate BLL, if drate, you got to throw that exception. Throw new rate exception, passing over new. Let's see. I don't like this one. How about like that? Yeah, it'll work. Am I missing something? Oh, it's on that line. That's why. Okay. So we'll say RDM dot set credit score, and that one's equal to the given credit score. There we go. Now I'm going to pass over RDM over to that thing, and rate exception is going to ask me to import it. I import it. That's going to say you're not throwing it, so I'm going to say throws, and there it is, throwing. Sweet. That's all you got to do for that. This is done. So by the way, what I want you to do is, you notice I'm taking these to-dos away. The reason why, if I go to show view tasks, every one of those to-dos shows up there. As soon as you take it away, it's out of here. So as you do your work, this shrinks. It gets smaller and smaller. We're good there. Let's go to tests. Okay, I gave you a bullshit test here. This 1 equals 1. That doesn't really mean anything. Let's say test rate. How about that? Just a done test rate. I'm going to say int I credit score equals 601. And now I wanted the get rate should return a single rate. I think it returns double. It doesn't return an object. It just returns a double. I'm going to say double d rate equals rate DLL dot get rate. There we go. Given credit score is I credit score, and it's going to ask me to put it around a try catch. I'm going to do that. Now, if this try catch fails, that's how you do it. It shouldn't fail, and if it does fail, I really want the unit test to fail. So double D rate, there's that. Now, that should come back with rate. That should come back with, I'm looking at the tables here, 600, 601 should come back with a 5. So I'm going to say assert true. D rate 5. When you're comparing doubles, you got to tell the precision. I'm typing assert true wrong. What's the problem? Is it assert true? Assert equals. Excuse me. Equals. There it is. Assert equals. Blah blah blah. That D rate of 601 should return back 5 at 0.01. Let's see if that works. Run it. Run as a JUnit test. Doing its thing. Let me get rid of these tasks, just get in my way. Alright, what does it like? It doesn't like something. What doesn't? It says expected 3.5 but was 5. I have it backwards. Okay, so the expected and the actual, I got them backwards. It should be actual and expected. There's the actual, or the expected and the actual. I have it backwards. So what it's saying is it's returning back 3.5 but was really a 5. Okay, that's a little strange. Return back 3.5. 3.5 should be for something like a 800 credit score. I'm passing it 601. So how did that happen? Let me make sure that I got it right. I'm going to run it again. It's going to do the same thing. It's probably going to say expected 5, but was 3.5. Fair enough. So obviously something's going on with my DAL. DAL somewhere in here is asked backwards. I'm saying order by min credit score. Yeah, it should return back 600, 650. Okay, so that's that. That's not looking for. Nope, that should. DAL's fine. DAL's fine. It's returned back 5 rows. The BLL, or it's actually doing the. It's actually doing this. It's saying if credit score. Okay, so 601 would be. Okay, I think I got it backwards. I gotta say this is less than this. Sorry, it's still warning, and it's. Okay, it's my bedtime, so probably that's what I did. Yeah, I bet you. Go back to the test, run it. Yay! Okay. So I mean that test. That's all right, I guess. I'm putting some hard-coded values in here. I wonder if I could do, and I didn't ask you to do this, but maybe a better test would be, there's nothing that's going to return back all the rates. There's nothing that's going to return back all the rates, I don't think. I don't think I can call get all rates from the BLL. So what I want to do is expose that, right? Let me show you what I'm talking about. If I say static double, here is the DAL. Can't see it. DAL. Get all rates. There we go. So go to the BAL and say that static double. Yep. I'm going to return rate DAL dot